Mr. Please be reminded that you are still under oath. I'll now yield the floor to Chair.
Please proceed.
Chairperson, the registrar is showing the witness a file, which I will ask the witness to identify.
Very well, Counsel. You can proceed.
Mr. Gomez, can you kindly identify that file? The reference number?
LM35/131/01 Part 4.
By the witness.
The Local Government Service Commission file with file number LM35/131/01 volume 4 or part 4 is hereby admitted in evidence and marked as LGC DG 002.
As the Commission please. Mr. Gomez, please look at folio 95 in that file.
Yes.
Can you tell us the reference for that letter?
LGC 001/01.
And the title?
Submission of action points of the Local Government Service Commission meeting of 28 December and 4th January 2022 on the KMC saga.
And this letter was written by you to the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Lands. Yeah. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, you have several action points on the letter, and one of them was point 5. Yes, point 5. You requested certain documents in respect of the $12 million saga. Can you tell us, did you ever receive the documents, or was the letter ever written by the ministry?
I have never come across a letter either received or written by the ministry.
And did you do any follow-up in respect of this? This letter was written on the 30th of December 2022.
Yes.
Okay. Was any follow-up done?
From our level, no.
From your level, no?
No.
And Can you tell us what you know about this issue? I believe you've said something about it in your statement.
Yeah, it's about the issue of at KMC between council on the one hand and the CEO and co on the other.
Okay.
Regarding a fraudulent activity of $12 million on behalf of the Staff Welfare Association.
Okay. What about it? What is it about?
Yeah, that was the accusation leveled against the CEO and co.
Yes, tell us about the accusation and what
Yes,
you know about it.
That the CEO used the council as a guarantor in order to acquire land that was to be eventually distributed to members of the Staff Welfare Association.
And this is the one that you said, this is the issue that you said was not forwarded to the commission?
Yes.
Okay. So do you know whether this issue was ever resolved?
It's still ongoing because as I understand the matter is still at the courts, at the level of the courts. And that is why it's not completely resolved yet.
Okay.
Mr. Gomez, prior for the matter going to court, prior to the matter being sent to the courts, there were correspondences, right?
Yes.
So what steps did you people take to deal with the issue before it went to court?
No, for the commission, they were of the view that since it is not, the matter wasn't forwarded to them, they cannot take action. That was the position of the commission.
Thank you.
Mr. Gomez,
Follow up. Do you think in any case, you as an oversight institution, when issues arise in the councils, is it not part of your responsibility to intervene and make sure that the issues are resolved?
Yes, certainly.
So in this instance, why didn't you intervene? Because as part of the Commission's TOR, I believe, and the responsibility of the ministry, I believe that they have an oversight to all these councils. Yes. And if issues emerge, I stand to be corrected, they must take steps to make sure that the issues are addressed.
I agree, but it comes back to the question of independence of the commission. The ministry was also very careful, or I was also careful. Intervening may be perceived by an outsider as interfering in the work of the commission. Maybe that's how some people will analyze it. And since they are responsible for disciplinary issues, it may be premature for us to jump on board.
Who is responsible for disciplinary matters when it deals with senior civil servants at the level of the municipalities? Who is responsible for that?
It's not stated, but it's the commission.
It's not stated?
No, it's the commission.
Thank you.
Yes, the commission.
Council, you can proceed.
Thank you. Mr. Gomez?
Yes.
I refer you to folio 96 in that file. Were you able to find it? Folio 96? Okay. And is that the letter dated 11th January 2023? Mr. Gomez?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Can you tell us the reference of the letter?
O/A/chairman/JAC/11/1/2023.
And the heading of the letter is Ministry Intervention is Needed in This Situation, correct?
Yes.
And it is a letter from the Janjambure Area Council informing the ministry that the chairman had been away for 15 months from the office without communicating with the council. Do you know anything about this matter?
Yes.
Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, the chairman was sick. I think I remember he applying for, medical leave or sick leave. But
who did he apply for?
Sorry?
Who did he make the application to?
I'm not sure whether it's to the ministry. Probably to the ministry.
To the ministry?
Yes.
Would you be able to locate this letter that he would have written?
Okay.
Yes, please note it as one of the documents to provide to the Commission. Do you know whether he applied for the leave before leaving the office?
No, he applied, but I'm not sure whether it's before or after leaving office.
Okay. Please continue the evidence you are giving.
Yeah. He was sick, and at some point the council want him replaced. But again, what the council wanted, it was something that the ministry couldn't pursue, because this is an elected body. The ministry have no mandate to attempt to remove him from office by virtue of the fact that he's an elected position. So what the ministry then offered an advice. We refer them to the Act and follow the processes or procedures that should lead to the replacement of a chairman. But again, the council, when I talk of the council, the Janjambure Area Council, perhaps they want the ministry to take a stance and replace the chairman, which if we are to attempt to do, we'll be doing so illegally, because we don't have the mandate to do so.
And do you know why they wanted to remove him?
Yes, it's just because by virtue of the fact that he has been out of office for a while.
15 months.
Yeah, thereabout, yes.
And do you think it is normal for the chairperson to be away from office 15 months?
It's not normal.
Okay. So have you ever had a situation other than this one where this has happened?
No. Personally, I don't.
I'm sorry, in their letter, they have stated that a resolution was passed for the removal of the chairperson during a general council meeting, and that it was based on Section 20 of the Local Government Act. Now, did you by chance review the Local Government Act when you were advising them that there was nothing that the ministry could do?
Yes, and that is why we refer them to follow the procedures contained in the Act. They want to replace the chairman.
Section 20 of the Act provides for the removal of the chairperson from office. And with the permission of the Commission, I'll just read. Subject to subsection 2, a chairperson, deputy chairperson, or other member of a council may be removed from office by a resolution supported by 2/3 of the members of council on any of the following grounds: abuse of office, corruption, misconduct, or such physical or mental incapacity as would render him or her incapable of discharging the duties of the office. For the purpose of removing the chairperson, deputy chairperson, or other member of a council under subsection 1 of this section, a notice in writing signed by not less than 2/3 of all members of the council shall be submitted to the deputy chairperson in the case of the removal of a chairperson, and to the chairperson in the case of the removal of a deputy chairperson, or any other member of the council, stating that they intend to pass a resolution to remove the chairperson, deputy chairperson, or other member of the council, as the case may be, on any of the grounds set out in subsection 1, setting out the case of the remover, other than paragraph D, the particulars of the charge supported by necessary documents where applicable, on which it is claimed that the conduct of the chairperson, deputy chairperson, or other member of the council, as may be investigated for the purpose of the removal. A copy of the notice is to be transmitted to the minister, and the minister shall, on receiving the notice or following any finding of irregularity, suspend the chairperson, deputy chairperson, or other member of the council concerned, investigate the allegations contained in the notice, in which case it would report its findings to the president, stating whether or not there is a case for the removal of the chairperson. And if the president determines that there is a prima facie case for the removal of the chairperson, deputy chairperson, or other member of the council, as the case may be, except for paragraph D, which is in the case of physical or mental incapacity, the chairperson, deputy chairperson, or other member of the council, as the case may be, shall cease to hold office. Where the chairperson or deputy chairperson or other member of the council is sought to be removed because of physical or mental incapacity, once the resolution is submitted, which will state that they intend to remove the chairperson, deputy chairperson, or other member, and they've given particulars of the alleged incapacity, the minister, which is your minister, shall within 7 days after receipt of the notice transmitted under subsection 3 and in consultation with the Director of Medical Services, constitute a medical board comprising 3 medical specialists to examine the chairperson, deputy chairperson, or other member of the council, as the case may be, in respect of the alleged incapacity, and report its findings to the council. Following that, the chairperson, deputy chairperson, or other member of the council shall cease to hold office if the medical board determines that the chairperson, deputy chairperson, or other member of the council, as the case may be, is by reason of physical or mental incapacity unable to perform the functions of his or her office, or reports that the chairperson, deputy chairperson, or other member of the council, as the case may be, has failed or refused to submit himself or herself to the medical board for examination. Now, did you look through this provision? Because they indicated the section that they were relying on when they wrote to your ministry, and the provisions that I have just read for the removal of a chairperson are under that section. You said that you went through the act when you were giving this advice.
Yes.
Did you not see this portion of the act?
Of course, that's why we refer them to the act.
But the act says that your ministry, once they are notified by the council, excuse me, that they intend to remove their chairperson, deputy chairperson, or a councillor because of physical or mental incapacity, the minister shall, within 7 days of receiving that notice, establish a medical board that would look into the issue and determine whether or not the chairperson, deputy chairperson, or councillor is indeed unfit.
Yes, I'm not sure whether that was done. I don't think it was done.
So
establishment of a medical board, blah, blah.
Your permanent secretary already said that it was not done, but my question really is more to the point that you have said that you referred them to the act and you informed them that you are unable to remove the chairperson because he is democratically elected.
Yes.
Now, the act gives you the power to remove him where he is mentally or physically incapable of carrying out his function as chairperson.
Yes.
So that's why I'm trying to find out whether you actually saw that provision when you were giving the advice, because from the act you have the power.
Yes, we saw it, but again, we are not in a position to examine him to determine the level of his inability,
the
physical
act says you establish a medical board.
Yeah.
It is not you who's going to determine it. It is the medical board, and the medical board will advise the ministry as to whether or not he is physically or mentally incapable of carrying out his functions?
Yes, that's why I say for that one I am not aware where it was done. I don't think it was done. If it was done, not to my knowledge anyway.
So then,
establishment of the medical
what
council.
you said earlier, that the ministry is not able to remove a chairperson from the provisions of the Act, is not correct.
From the position of the Act.
Do you want me to give you the Act?
No, I understand it.
You had said that
on the other part, that is the physical or mental capacity, yes. But before that, we can't remove the chairman.
you have the provisions for removal if there's abuse of office, corruption, misconduct. And the ministry has the power to remove a chairperson, deputy chairperson, or councillor if one of these issues come up. The provisions and the criteria to be able to do this are provided for in the Act.
Yes.
So, do you still stand by your position that the ministry cannot remove chairperson, deputy chairperson, or councillor?
No, going by the physical or mental incapacity, the ministry could have proceeded and advised the necessary institution or sector to come up with a medical board that was going to look into his case to ascertain the degree or his level of physical or mental incapacity. Thereby, then the ministry can now have the powers to remove him. But if a medical board wasn't established, I think it will be wrong for the ministry to just get up and say, let's get rid of the chairman. That will be wrong on our part.
Now, Mr. Gomez, I'm going to give you a file, a letter to look at. And this, I believe, it was pursuant to the same issue that council is talking about, which the area council made reference to and wrote to you and I believe this, your office wrote to the IEC with respect to the same issue. So please look at these two letters, read this to the Commission, and let us know whether what you are saying is what has happened in your office. This one and this one. I saw him folio 152 and 59 from IEC. Take a look at folio 152 and 59, the response from IEC. We would stand to be corrected. Based on the letter from IEC, it seems IEC is responding to you to follow due process pursuant to the provisions of the law that have been read to you by council. And also, the fact that you did not take your responsibility to do what you are supposed to do pursuant to what is provided for in the Act, that was why IEC responded to your letter. Is that not correct?
I'm still searching for the IEC. Okay.
Register, please.
I found it. This one. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, what I can understand from this IEC letter, it was...
read the first letter, which was from the Jamboree Area Council.
Yes, 152 was from Jamboree.
Yes.
Which was addressed to the permanent secretary.
What did it say?
IEC response to the removal of the chairman. Yes. Attached is the copy of the response of IEC to the vice chairman of Jamboree Area Council.
Then explain what happened. Because this is in what? When was this?
22.
22.
Last year, yeah.
Yes. Were you in office at that time?
Yes, I was.
So you know the full facts of this? Can you explain to the Commission?
Didn't see this letter. This IEC's letter didn't reach me. Although it was copied, no, it wasn't even copied to us. It was addressed to the Vice Chairman and copied to the Governor, CEO, and Chairman of Janjambure. I've never come across this IEC letter anyway.
What about the first letter?
Which one? This one?
Yes.
The Janjambure one?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe, as you can see, it's not even minuted to me. So
are you telling the Commission that you do not have access to this file?
I may have access, but I act on things that are issues that are minuted to me. If I should do the other way around, if things go wrong, and I am challenged by my superior, who authorized you to do ABC, what will be my position? I'll be in a funny.
That is fair enough.
I'll be in a funny position.
Yes, I just wanted you to explain what you know about the entire situation since you were in office and you knew that these were the issues. There was a back and forth from the council to your office and also to the IEC.
Yeah. Yes, what I know was the vice chairman continues coming to the office sometimes in passing, aside of writing, and my position, as far as I can remember, with the permanent secretary, his advice was to follow the due process.
So what due process did you people follow at the level of the ministry?
No, we just advised them to, we refer them to the act, follow to the act. First they need to convene a general council meeting whereby 2/3 of the councillors have to agree. And when I say agree, not just verbal, they have to support it before it moves to the next level. And
so you referred them to the act, and that was it. There was nothing else.
Provisions of the act, yes. That much I can remember.
So there was nothing else after that.
I think there were communications between the two, between the ministry and the council.
Do you have those communications?
They'll be in the file. I don't know which of the files, but.
Okay, we will give you time to check for those ones and then provide it for us if it is not in that file.
Okay.
Thank you. Council, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gomez, so do you know, in fact, not that, the letter states that the resolution that was passed for the removal of the chairperson was at the council meeting dated 15th March 2022.
Yeah.
And they have stated that the resolution was approved by the ministry dated 4th April 2022. And a letter dated 5th April 2022 was further written to the IEC for further action as authorized by the ministry. Did the ministry authorize that the council should write to the IEC?
I wouldn't remember because different people are instructed to write aside my office.
At your office?
Apart from my office, some people are assigned to write or to communicate in certain cases whereby we are not in the know-how.
So the letter goes further to say, I received the letter dated 15th December 2022. The chairman wrote to your office, this is your office, and copied me that he resumed his duties after being away for 28 months from office without following due process. So as at the time that this letter was being written, or as at the time that the chairman wrote to say that he resumed work, he'd been away for 28 months. Now, do you consider 28 months a period that is inordinate in consideration of the fact that the term of the chairman, how long is the term of the chairman?
It's the same like the councillors.
Which is what?
5.
5 years? So 28 months is a bit over 2 years. So the chairperson has been away from office for 2 years plus, and because of sickness. And the ministry did not think it necessary to convene a medical board?
Yes, I agree with you. A medical board should have been constituted. That will be the body to determine the level of incapacity of the chairman or otherwise. and inform or advise government accordingly.
And if the medical board had been convened and the chairman was held to be incapable of carrying out his functions, he would have been removed, right?
Certainly. Yeah.
And arrangements would have been made for somebody else to take over, or
a by-election conducted, yes.
Whichever the case is. So what do you think happened within the 28-month gap that there was no chairperson at the Janjanbureh Area Council?
It was only the vice chair who was overseeing that office.
And there was no mandate given to the vice chair by the ministry to take over that office in the interim?
I don't think so.
Now, can you tell us what happened after that? Because you were telling us what happened in respect of this saga.
What happened after the?
What happened after the chairperson resumed duties? You were informed of this?
Yes.
So what happened?
That was not long before their term came to an end after the 4-year period.
So during his absence, was he being paid allowances?
It may not be all, but I think he was paid some allowances.
Do you know if he was paid sitting allowances?
Maybe the council can confirm that, what allowance or allowances were paid to him while overseeing the position.
And what steps did the ministry take after it realized that the chairperson was away for 28 months without any reason being given?
There was no action.
It's your permanent secretary is aware of this issue because he had been asked questions about this.
Yeah.
So what is your role as the director of governance in this instance? Because your directorate is responsible for monitoring and inspections of the councils. So in terms of monitoring, what has your role been in this regard?
Yes, my role was, some of these things we discuss it at our level, that is between his office and my office, and sometimes even together with the vice chairman. We invite him to come over and discuss this problem at the council, that is the vice chairman, the chairman's vacancy issues.
And was anything resolved after these meetings?
Yeah, sometimes it's resolved that, like when we refer them, do this and do this, or go by the stated actions of the act. Then at that stage, maybe he understands our position. But sometimes when he returns back, the reverse may happen.
Let me refer you to folio 86. This is a letter dated the 17th of November 2022, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us the reference?
LM35/131/01 Part 4, folio 86.
And this is a letter from your ministry. It is, who is George Nyuki?
Yes.
Is he a staff of the ministry?
Yes.
Okay. Now this letter is addressed to Mr. Lamin Suso, Director of Finance at Basse Area Council, and it is in respect of allegations of professional misconduct. Can you summarize for us the contents of the letter?
Yes, he was alleged to have, as detailed in the bullet points, violating all those procedures or processes. And then we wrote to him to clarify or to provide explanation on all the allegations leveled against him as per this letter.
Was this letter ever sent to the Local Government Service Commission?
Was it reference to?
Was it ever sent to the Local Government Service Commission? Your ministry has copied different institutions, but not the Service Commission.
Yeah. All that was copied was Basse. Yes, it was in the commission wasn't copied, as can be seen.
Do you know why?
No, I wouldn't know why, whether it was an oversight or an error on his part.
And the ministry was writing to him to respond to these issues in what capacity?
As an oversight body.
But he's a staff of the council.
Yes.
And so, let me just go through the bullet points. So they have stated, or your ministry has stated, that you do not apply professional financial management skills to supervise your department, thus resulting to high levels of financial leakages at the council. You are engaged in corrupt practices and embezzlement of council's revenue, such that you collected from Sori Sila, Somajalo, Lamin Mane, Basama Jaune, all revenue collectors, a total combined sum of $91,250, in which you instructed them to bring their respective sums they have collected to your office instead of immediate banking, which you later spent illegally. You collected revenue from hawkers and petty traders using GTR receipts, knowing full well that the use of GTR receipt books to collect revenue for the council was abolished, save for the instances of collecting debts from council debtors. You do not have the requisite qualifications to be the Director of Finance, in that you do not have a bachelor's degree, which is a requirement for one to man the position of the Finance Director. You, on several occasions, unilaterally use council's revenue without the knowledge of the CEO, who is the accounting officer of the council. You use the council's revenue without following due process. For example, you once gave $900 to Basama Jaune, a revenue collector, for his christening ceremony. You once produced a voucher that does not tally with the revenue collected by the respective revenue collectors of the council. It is further alleged that you withdrew over $2 million from the council's account over an extended period by forging the signature of the CEO in some instances in order to make these withdrawals purportedly on behalf of the council. In light of the above allegations against you, you are hereby given up to the 25th November 2022 to patently respond to all the aforementioned allegations against you. Thus, we can hear your side of the story and furnish us with any other information not contained herewith, but is bordering around these allegations against you. Now, do you know what happened as a result of this letter?
Yes, these accusations came from the council, and that's what we just lift and put here. So which he was required to respond to, because it may be inappropriate to take a decision without hearing the other side of the story, and that is why he was requested to respond to each of these allegations leveled against him.
Some of these allegations are bordering on fraud. In fact, they are fraudulent allegations. Did you report it to the police?
No, we didn't. What we did was we sent a team, or that is an internal audit, to also do and go on the ground and conduct an audit exercise in relation to this.
Is it that the ministry does not believe that the police can properly investigate allegations of fraud? That they're not involved?
No, it's not about belief in. It's about like enabling us to do ours first before the police come in. If our past didn't bear fruit, then maybe we can forward the matter to the police. And
are
that
these
is why
investigations not able to run simultaneously?
Okay, they could, but what we thought at the time was to immediately dispatch a team, and that came up with a report at the conclusion of the audit exercise.
And did you dispatch it? When did you dispatch a team? Because when was that written? This is not part of this letter. When did the ministry dispatch the team to go and investigate?
I think that was this year, 2023.
From November?
Either December or this year, 2023.
And does that happen to be the special audit report?
Yes.
And the police have now been involved?
Yes, now they are involved.
So there's been, since November, it's several months from when your team went to investigate and the police are now finally getting involved?
Yes, the police are involved now.
Do you not think it would have helped to have the two investigations running concurrently?
It's not bad to have them run concurrently, but our thinking, our mind didn't go to the police at the time. And that is why we just set up an internal audit to go and conduct a comprehensive audit of what is.
Please, continue.
No, go on.
Thank you. When you have allegations of fraud, because I know this is not the only one, there are several allegations of fraud and financial mismanagement, is it usual for the ministry to not involve the police to investigate these things?
Yes, sometimes the police can be involved. Like in the case of KMC, sometimes the police were involved.
Which KMC issue?
It was the CEO at the time.
Is that Sainabu Martin?
No, no.
Which one?
What's his name? Pa Khalifa.
The police were involved in that investigation?
Yes.
And what was the outcome of the investigation?
They've sent a report to that effect.
When was the report sent?
Yes. I don't want to speculate, but maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
And what was the outcome of that investigation?
He was relieved of his position.
At the council?
Yes.
The more recent KMC issue of the CEO, Director of Finance and other staff that involved allegations of fraud, did the ministry report the matter to the police to investigate?
This one. No, I remember in the first instance they were not part of it. What the ministry did was to dispatch an inspection team to go on the ground and inspect and report, and that will inform what everybody was going to follow next, whether it's going to be the police or the SIS.
And what was the outcome of that inspection?
The team came out with a report that was submitted.
Submitted to whom?
To the permanent secretary.
Are you able to provide a copy of that report?
No, maybe him.
Maybe who?
I don't have a signed copy.
Are you able to get a copy from the ministry?
Okay.
Can you please
I'll
provide a
find that
copy
from you.
as soon as possible?
Okay.
Now, what was the outcome of that report? There were no referrals to the police to investigate?
No, the outcome was to set up a commission of inquiry to that effect.
This is following the investigation of your team?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Just to also address the issue at Kuntaur. At Kuntaur Area Council. Okay. In this in Exhibit LGC 19 at pages at folio 155. Registrar, can you kindly show him this letter? There are three issues here. The former CEO of Kuntaur made a detailed response to the 2019-2020 audit report, giving a detailed explanation of some of the issues. And that is one issue. The second issue is that he stated in his response about how the chairpersons and the councillors were awarded projects, which projects were not executed. I would like to know what are some of those projects that were awarded to the chairperson and to the councillors, and which projects were not executed. And also, he highlighted the amounts of money of to the tune of 500,000, where he indicated that this 500,000 was a contract that was awarded by the council, and it was done wrongly, and he admitted in this letter that he signed that it was the council's fault. And he had also indicated in this same letter of the steps that he had taken to address some of the issues. Can you look at this letter and explain to this commission what you understand in all of these issues that he has highlighted? That is folio 155.
Did he what? Retire?
When did he retire?
Sure, 2021. I think around 2021. No, 2020. I think 2020.
Are you sure?
I can't remember, because if I don't go back
can you give
the
us
records, it may be
can
difficult.
you give us the record showing when he
to
retired?
give the precise time when he retired.
Yes.
Only the records can confirm that.
Yes. Please kindly provide the records to the commission.
Okay.
So what do you say about the issues he raised about the council fault of giving out a contract of about 500,000, and also the fact that the chairman and the councillors were awarded contracts ranging from road, rehabilitation, etc., which he has listed, that they never executed on?
Yeah, the reason why they were not executed I cannot tell, but I know council normally engage councillors to come up with projects for their various wards.
No, my issue is, if you read what is contained there.
Okay.
He said, if you look at the paragraph, I cannot remember offhand what particular paragraph it is, but the letter is there where he indicated that I think I highlighted it. If you can check, it's highlighted.
It's not highlighted. There's nothing highlighted.
Where he indicated that the chairman and the councillors were awarded contracts which they did not execute. That is what I am talking about. So if you know any of those contracts that were awarded and were not executed, I want you to shed light on that.
This is the only thing highlighted. I'm trying to figure out what
Kindly bring the file, let me assist you.
It's not an order letter.
Yes, if it is to the extent in office, I administered the affairs of the country. Were awarded projects, example, rolled up as stores, 2019 were. This point is the fact that when he retired, 1 year, 6 months, the auditor was occupying his office. And he indicated that he handed over everything to the auditor, and it was the auditor that was running the show, as is contained in that letter. Yes. So start with the issue that when he retired, 1 year, 8 months, the auditor was occupying his office, and your office did not do anything to replace the CEO and to allow the auditor to do his job as per his TOR.
I'm not sure which auditor is he referring. Is it their own auditor, internal auditor, or external?
No, their own auditor,
Okay.
based on what he has.
Okay.
Their internal auditor.
Yes.
Because he indicated that the internal auditor was occupying his office.
Yes, I can remember when he retired, an advert was placed for his successful replacement, but nobody was available as per the advert. So an appeal was made to him to instead of leaving a vacancy, create him a vacuum, let him still, please forgive us and hang around while the search continues.
No, but Mr. Cummins, sorry to interrupt. He said when he retired, 1 year, 8 months, according to that letter, the auditor was occupying his office. So at what point did you beg him to continue staying in that office?
The auditor has occupied his office. That's news to me anyway. What I can remember in the first instance when the advert was floated.
Can you show him the line?
Yeah. No, I'm not disputing what you said. I informed him during my tenure in office how I administered the affairs of council to an extent that chairman and councillors were awarded projects, for example, road rehabilitation and C-store repairs. In 2019, which were not carried out, and some staff attitudes to be carefully observed in his administration. Council awarded the contract on condition that the amount involved, 500,000, is within GPPA threshold. Definitely the extension of standpipes into the compounds from the main borehole, as the village is very sizable and we did not inform GPPA, and that is council's fault, because the villagers were desperate and had to travel to nearby villages approximately 2 to 3 kilometers to fetch water, roughly 3 years. The above is my position as this relate to me during my tenure in office, and I will be prepared to shed more light on any issue you did not understand. Yes, I can't remember this auditor occupying his office for 1 year, 8 months.
Can you read what he said there on that aspect?
Yes, I've read what you highlighted.
No,
I'm
the
not
one
sure.
referring to the auditor being in his office for 1 year, 8 months.
Because this is what I read. This is what I just read. Maybe it could be the other side. Okay, I think it's here. Yeah, that's right. Since I retired, my office was occupied by the internal auditor in the year 2020. Yes.
Yes, for how long?
Roughly 1 year, 6 months. The said fuel receipt books. The said fuel receipt books are in this office. Both management and administration are aware of these books in his office, because the internal auditor informed them. Council did not take any action against me concerning fuel receipt books. They know that I live in Sukuta, and council did not call me or wrote a letter to me pertaining to these fuel receipt books, and to come and clarify the matter.
Thank you. And you have the file. Council, can you proceed? Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gomez, I refer you back or still to folio 86.
Yeah, 86.
Now, we've established that some of the issues contained in the letter are fraudulent issues, and some of the issues are in respect of professional capacity. Your ministry has pointed out, as informed by the council, that the director of finance did not hold the required qualifications for the position. Now, you're aware of this issue by virtue of being the director of governance, right?
Yes, it was brought to light when these issues came up.
And as much as you're Director of Governance, you're also the Secretary to the Commission, the
Yes.
Local Government Service Commission, which would have to deal with the issue of the fact that, well, other than discipline, because of the matters contained in the letter, also whether the Director of Finance could properly maintain his position, being that he did not have the qualifications. Now, did you at any point ask or inform your permanent secretary or minister that this issue should go to the Service Commission?
No, I did not.
Okay. Why was that?
No, there is no reason, because we just thought that we can dispatch the internal audit of the ministry to go and verify these things.
Okay, since November 2022, do you know, has the Director of Finance still been with the council?
Yes, he is still with the council.
When did he stop being with the council, or is he still with the council?
Yes, because the police are doing their investigations now, and in order to help the police, that's why he is there. But a report to that effect is since provided or produced by the audit in connection to him.
Was he at any point asked to stay away from the office?
The commission wanted to take that line, but given that the police are doing their investigations and they need them there.
No, but you said that the commission, this was not sent to the commission. So on what basis would the commission be taking that line?
No, I may be wrong. The one I said this was sent to the commission is the KMC one.
This one was sent to the commission?
This one, yes.
When?
The commission is in the picture.
When was it sent to the commission?
Maybe 2 months ago. Can't remember.
Who sent it to the commission? The permanent secretary?
Yes.
And these are allegations that were raised since November 2022. It was only brought to the notice of the commission 2 months ago.
Yes, it may be 2 months, it may be a little over that, I'm not sure, but...
so assuming it was February 2023, that it was brought to the attention of the commission.
Yes.
The commission did not take any action in respect of the Director of Finance.
Yes, as I said, the investigation was still ongoing. That is, the internal audit was on the ground there, conducting or doing their investigation into the matter, and that was going to help or inform the commission and any other body that was going to step in.
And
so,
who was operating the Office of the Director of Finance during this entire time?
It was him.
He was still dealing with council funds?
Yes.
Whilst the investigations were ongoing?
Yes.
Wow, okay. And do you think that this is, I don't know what word to use other than safe, do you think that that is something that should be the standard?
Yeah, perhaps maybe he could have been placed on suspension, and he comes only when it's needed by the auditors. And then when it's not needed, he goes back until the audit is completed. Maybe that will have been the best thing to do.
Is there a reason why this was not done by the ministry? I mean, the ministry has taken steps for other staff of other councils. Is there a reason why it wasn't done in this case?
Yeah, that's why I said the best thing to do was to do that, to put him on suspension, and he's only invited when the auditors need him. As long as they are done with him, he goes back and sit down, and when they need him, they recall him until the process is completed. Yes. That will have been the best thing to do, in my view, anyway.
Yes, so we're talking about what would have been the best thing to do, but I'm just wondering why this is not something that was routinely done, in fact, because you have several allegations of this nature that do not make it to the commission, and nothing is done pending whatever decision, if a decision is ever obtained. What happens to the councils within that period? The people that are alleged to have committed fraud or financial malpractice, are essentially allowed to stay at the councils, continue to use and deal with council funds, whilst the commission or the ministry, whichever the case may be, decides or does not decide to do anything about it?
Yes, as I stated earlier on, the best thing to do and what should have been done, in my candid opinion, would have been to place them under suspension. To place him under suspension while the investigation kickstart. Whether he or she will return or not will be determined by the outcome of the investigation. That would have been the best thing to do.
And what would be the ministry's position if during the period November 2022 and now, whilst the Director of Finance was still at the council and dealing with council finances, there's missing funds that could be attributed to him? Would the ministry take responsibility for that?
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I believe that is a convenient point to stop. It's already 4:30.
Very well.
We will continue tomorrow morning. Please, Mr. Gomez, endeavor to be here by 10 because we will start our proceedings at sharp 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will rise.